Okay, so it's kind of a long view of the chamber, but you should be able to see everything in motion. I have two sequence parameters here, booleans. One's for the lower spinner and one's for the upper spinner. I'll do the upper one first. So there's a little extension. They start spinning and it extends out. I can modify the timing of this to some extent, but yeah, that's basically the sequence. So this would be for fabricating new crystals or something along those lines. And yeah, the sequence can be adjusted so that the spinners could start after it extends or something like that. There's an oscillation in the spinning up there, so it doesn't look so regular. So yeah, there's a little bit of a. You'll notice that it doesn't feel like they're always spinning at the same speed up top. That's an extra added layer of animation on there. All right, so lower sequence, inner column. This would be for lowering it to the player's height. Right now, so this would be the position when the player first comes in, and as they get near it, if I understand it correctly, this would activate or deactivate. It would extend downwards, and then the player would have access to it. But the height of the exosuit, that's a fairly comfortable height, a little bit higher than the normal hand height, so that should be okay. We don't think we need to lower the spinner into the ground or anything like that. Right now, there's just one spin animation that activates during that spins in one direction when it activates and deactivates. I could make a secondary one pretty easily that spins in the opposite direction, so it'd be sort of like a nut bolt situation. Spins one way to extend it, spins the other way to retract it. But right now it just does that. So, and this can be sequenced slightly differently too. So we could have it spin for a little while and then extend, whatever the purpose would be. So those are the two. I'll go ahead and turn these guys on. Okay, so then we have outer columns. So since these might be tied to lights or something along those lines, I'm just going to leave these outside of the sequence. So when the player approaches it, maybe like this could be the natural state right here, and then when the player approaches it, they could all get out of the way, or maybe they are like lights, so that when the player nears the thing, they extend and turn on. It might get slightly in the way of drilling, but I don't think so. I think that's just low enough that might not be a problem. Upper columns, outer columns as well are up there, so if they were to be tied to the lights when the player nears the location, there's a boolean that can turn them on and off. And yeah, sorry for this taking a little bit of time. When I played the sequence here in Engine, there was just a few issues that needed to be fixed up, and since the sequence is being broken up in a different way, I needed to go after that. But let me know if I need to animate a counter rotation for this sequence for the lower one. Otherwise, oops. Yeah, there you go. So, all in all, and this is mixable and so on. So if you say, oh, I just want to have the spinning happen after the main column extends, that's easy enough to do. Each one of these is on their own parameter here. Except for the oscillate. The oscillate runs with whenever it spins up. So there's an extension animation for each one of those plates. Spin up and spin down. The inner column extension. The outer column extension. The lower outer column extension. And the inner column extension. spinner. And I could create a counter spinner. And then the two sequences are just putting a few of these parameters to trigger at the same time so that they just all run as one.